Okay, good morning, everyone. Hey, Dean and Hattie and Phil. We are going to get started here. It looks like in about a minute or so. Happy Friday to everyone. Beautiful day here in Las Vegas. Give another few minutes here to have a few more people jump on. Okay, you guys can hang tight just for a moment. I'm also going to go live here on Facebook and need to do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Fireside Chat here today. And today, we're going to talk about finance. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about what I, believe everybody, ultimately we want to help people, but we also want to take care of ourselves. We want to take care of our family. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that here today on our Fireside Chat. I'm streaming on Facebook. And so hi, everyone out there in Facebook world, as well as YouTube. And of course, we're here on the Zoom as well. I had a special guest, Courtney Ipps, coming on today. Unfortunately, she texted me this morning after I sent her the Zoom link and said she is in bed with a migraine headache. And so she says she's not going to be able to make it. So we'll have her back, this fall after Labor Day. As you know, this is our last Fireside Chat for the summer. Although I may pop on occasionally, just, feeling inspired or whatever and want to share or deliver something with, to you guys. Because I'm really, really super excited about what's happening right now. I'm very excited about what's happening in this industry and the impact that we can have. Excited about what's happening, in Valentis, and all the new things are coming. Matter of fact, I am leaving on Sunday for corporate to spend a day and a half with Dave to talk about things and, really just gear up for the rest of the summer and what we're going to do to move into the fall season and just help everyone. So this morning I spent a little time watching, some, videos on a little bit of this topic that we want to talk about, with my special guest, Courtney, not being able to make it here today. I'm just going to double check just to make sure she didn't happen to slip in or happen to feel better, but she has a migraine headache, so she's not going to be joining us. But again, what we want to do is we want to talk about, some of the tax benefits. And that's one of the things, I was listening to Jim Rohn, and I'm going to jump around here a little bit, but I'm listening to Jim Rohn this morning, and he talks about, one of the secrets to wealth. Actually, he covered a couple different things that are the secret to wealth. And one of them is service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. And the challenge I think most people have in life is they don't have a vehicle. They don't have a vehicle to service people, right? The more you service, the more people that you can help, that translates into rewards, right? So that's one of the things that our business allows us to do, the everyday person allows us to do, is rather than servicing a company as an employee, by building an organization in this industry of network marketing, you truly can service many. Matter of fact, you can service tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, and your rewards in life are in direct proportion to the number of people that you can help and the number of people that you can serve, right? And that always comes back to you. So, this is an industry that allows me, you, the everyday person, an opportunity to really reach masses, to service the masses. And of course, you have to have the right intentions and all of those types of things. But it is very, very important. The other thing that is important is leverage. And that's, again, what network marketing allows us to do. It allows us to leverage our time. It allows us to leverage markets. It allows us to leverage, it allows us to leverage even our money, right? So leverage is another very key point that a lot of people in the real world, in the traditional world, don't have the opportunity to do. In this industry of networking, we have the opportunity to really embrace the concept of leverage and in almost every part of the word. But one of the other things that Jim Rohn talks about that's very important is, to creating wealth is you have to pay your taxes, but you don't want to pay more than your fair share. You don't want to pay more than you have to in taxes. And one of the things, having been in this industry as long as I have been, and witnessing so many people that have made a lot of money and not paid their taxes, they've not, and it isn't because they didn't want to, they just didn't know how to. They didn't know, being self-employed, being a 1099 person, not understanding the ups and the downs and the roller coaster of independence, of entrepreneurial business, of the network marketing business. They don't prepare, they don't save, they put it off, and then the end of the year comes and then they're devastated. They're devastated because all of a sudden they don't have the money necessary to pay their taxes. And I have seen, and this is an area that absolutely, guys, if you don't pay attention to, and I'm very, very lucky and very, very fortunate that I had some good advice very early on in my business career, my network marketing career. I got partnered with an accountant who made sure that I've always paid my taxes. And I believe, we can always learn and know and do better, but I believe I pay my taxes, but I believe I've also been able to maximize, all of the benefits and the deductions. And that's one of the things, guys, that literally we can show people through the home-based business. And that's why I wish Courtney was here. We're going to have her back sometime when she's feeling better to talk about this. I mean, literally just by being in business for your home. And I met with someone yesterday actually about trusts and about LLCs and the different benefits that everyone should have an LLC. Everyone should have, not just for a liability reason, for the tax deduction reasons and all this kind of stuff. And we're going to get more information on this. But, one is making the money. 2 is leveraging the money. 3 is, having a vehicle that you can leverage your efforts. And again, that's what network marketing does. But again, it's not enough just to make the money. You have to keep the money, right? You have to compound the money, and you have to, when I say keep the money, I mean, keep as much of it as you can without, giving it to the government. And so this whole tax thing is a major thing. And again, I've been very, very fortunate in my life to get good advice. I've never, ever got in trouble tax-wise. I've been audited and, have had to pay a little because of deductions that, they threw out, but that's fine. It's better to have, deductions that get thrown out than not taking everything you possibly can, right? Because that's part of keeping your money and making sure you don't get in trouble. Because I started talking about this, but I know people that have made millions of dollars not pay their proper taxes, and it catches up with them. And when it does, it is devastating. I mean, we're talking sometimes orange jumpsuit, but we're talking literally every penny you make from that, the compounding, the effect of those not paying your taxes, not claiming income, will absolutely devastate your life. So start immediately. If you're not doing this, you need to make sure that you get proper advice. have an accountant. And even when you're making a little bit, guys, one of the things that will absolutely devastate you in your life is not understanding and paying the tax. So get some good advice. Get with a good accountant, make sure that you're paying your taxes and taking all the deductions possible. And again, we hope to have Courtney on here when she's feeling better to talk about this. I keep checking just to see if she happened to pop on, if she happened to be feeling better, but no, she's not on. Anyway, and again, I'm listening to stuff this morning talking about leverage and leveraging your money. It's not enough just to make the money. You have to compound that money. You have to invest that money properly. Too many people try to hit a home run. I've made this mistake multiple times where I get caught up, because here's the thing: everybody, thinks whatever their investment is, whatever they have, you got to be really, really cautious here. And the bigger the return, the more risky it really is. And I have fallen for this multiple times. I've invested a lot of money. I mean, probably to the tune of losing $1 million or so. In this unbelievable investment that's going to be unbelievable, and it turns out to not be anywhere near what it was. Matter of fact, penny stock can actually go lower than a penny, right? It can completely disappear. And so I still take and will invest a certain portion of my money into investments that have high returns. But most of what I invest in now is more conservative. I want a steady and a good consistent rate, minimize my risk, because I've got to the point, at one time, just like, I just want to, just so I don't lose money, right? Just so I don't lose money, I'd be so much better off. But getting into some conservative, low risk investments, real estate has been one of my best investments. My home here in Las Vegas probably has increased in value $1 million. My home in Minnesota has increased more than $1 million. And so, so real estate's been a great avenue for me. Investing in the market, crypto, thought it was going to be a great investment. Turned out, still hopeful there. I've not sold, because this is the other mistake that people make in this world is, they sell low and they buy high. They buy when things are exploding, and then they sell when things are, tanking. And the people that are smart in the industry do the exact opposite. They buy low and sell high, right? And so I missed the window to sell my crypto high. So I'm riding it out because, it's going to go back up, in my opinion, in my belief. And if I sell now, I lose, right? So I'm just riding it out. I'm in a position where I'm able to do that. So, but keeping your money, number one, leveraging yourself, number two, making sure you pay your taxes, but not more taxes than you need to. And number three, I think if you look at those three principles, because getting wealthy, creating financial independence, just simply working for somebody, takes a long time. And most people, statistically, it just doesn't work. That's the bottom line. The statistics show, 97% of the people reach age 65 dead or dead broke. They're dependent on friends, family, relatives, or they're having to still work, right? So, you can make that work. Some have, and they're very, very well disciplined, very wise in their investments. And over time, maybe through some retirement program, they can create it. But for the vast majority of the people, they reach that retirement age and things aren't good. Right. They're faced with that. And at my age right now, that's one of my major concerns is, I want to make sure that I'm secure. That's one of the things, I guess, when people say, what is your why right now? One of my major whys is just, I want to be secure. I don't want to have those pressures anymore. And so, spending money, making sure you're paying your taxes, making sure you're using your money properly, and not getting caught up in this trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, not getting caught up in spending more money than you have, especially spending your tax dollars on things that you really don't need, or you have to pay. Again, I don't mean to belabor it, but I could tell you so many people that I know that have made $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, made $1 million, didn't pay their taxes, got in trouble, made $1 million again, were able to catch up and didn't learn a lesson, still didn't save for their taxes. I'm telling you guys, this is an area, if you're not doing it, and you need to start when the number's small. start when the number's small. It's easy because once the number gets big, it's overwhelming, and it's like, how am I ever going to crawl out of this hole? So with that, maybe I'll just take and open it up here for an open discussion of, what you guys are doing. If anybody else has learned the lessons that I have, I've made bad investments. I've wasted money, but I'm living a much different life today because of the lessons I've learned. And I'm in a much different position, because here's the thing I know about business. In business, when I say business, I mean network marketing too. Every business, I don't care if it's network marketing, I don't care if it's a convenience store, I don't care what it is. Every business has ups and downs. And if you spend everything when you're going like this, you're not going to have anything when it goes like this. And every business has those ups and downs and divots. So, no better time than the present to start that, so you can prepare for those difficult times, because there's always difficult times. Nothing goes like this forever. And you when it's going like this, you need to be thinking about what you're going to do when it goes like this, because it always goes like that. And then when it's like that, you're preparing yourself to go like that again. And that's where I think we are right now, even in Blitzes. We're preparing for this massive movement of growth again. So let's take and open it up, see if anybody wants to jump in, share any lessons they've thought, any advice that they have, any thoughts that they have around this topic. Ultimately, I guess the topic is, how do we ride the ups and downs? How do we, leverage ourselves, not just ourselves, leverage our time, leverage our money, leverage our investments, and leverage taxes, not paying more than we have to, but making sure we do pay what we have to. So with that, let me open it up, see if anybody wants to jump in and participate here in this conversation today. Who wants to jump in? Come on.
I will, John. This is Kim Hadley. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate that. Share with us your thoughts.
Well, after having home-based business for a while, I used a tracking app that really helped me organize all of my deductions and expenses. And it's a really inexpensive app. It was called TaxBot. And that helped me take pictures of receipts, because years gone by, I had boxes of, shoe boxes full of receipts, and come tax time, it would be sorting and horrible. And this tax app really assisted me in the organization so that it wasn't so hard. And with that, it allowed my accountant to give me all of the benefits deductions that were possible for having a home-based business.
Yeah, wow, that's fantastic. And that's, guys, again, she mentioned the deductions available in a home-based business. It's one of the areas that I was hoping Courtney would be on, because there are so many incredible benefits that people don't realize of having their own business. A portion of their car, a portion of their home, a portion of their electric bill, a portion of their travel. You go traveling anywhere, and if you're traveling either with somebody in business or traveling and meeting somebody in that area that you travel to in business, you bring it up, it becomes deductible, right? And so there's so many things. And I'm not here as trying to give any tax advice because I'm not an accountant or anything, but I can tell you there is tremendous benefit in having your own business. And also with, because I'm right now in the process of trying to get some more things organized for myself, one of which is a living trust. I'm getting a living trust set up. But also in the process of meeting with this guy earlier this week, I thought it was yesterday, the day before, he was talking to me about the benefits of everybody wanting an LLC. Think about this for a moment, because somebody will say, well, what do I need an LLC for? I don't have a business. But are you wanting a business at some point? Even if you don't have the business at this moment, says you can still set up an LLC as long as you are in the pursuit of starting a business. Right. And that's one of the things that we offer the ability to have a business. But immediately, as soon as you set up that LLC, you're in pursuit of the business. There's all kinds of deductions that become available to you. Somebody says, what do I need an LLC for? I don't have anything. No, what do I need the protection for? Well, what if something happens? right? What if, something does happen and you're thinking, well, I got nothing, nobody can take anyway. Well, you know what? Even if you don't have anything and something does happen and you get sued and you get a judgment against you, if you don't have an LLC, that judgment is going to haunt you the rest of your life if you ever do make money. Let's say something happens where you're injured, you get hurt, you get in the hospital, or you get rack up some major bills, right? Well, you can protect your wealth, you can protect your business in an LLC where, personally, you can't protect that stuff. And so you might not have an LLC, you get hurt, you get injured, you get a judgment, you got bills that will follow you whenever you do start making money, they're going to start taking it, right? So, and again, I'm going to get more information on this because it's fascinating to me. And it's information that the everyday person simply doesn't know. They don't understand. They don't understand the benefits to it. I'm going to try to figure some of this stuff out and bring it to you in an understandable, clear way. But I mean, it was listening to this. I was going to try to get this guy on today to share some of the things, because it blew my mind, different things I didn't think about, I don't have anything. What do I need a business, an LLC for? What if you ever plan on having something and something happened in the interim, you get a judgment against you, that's going to haunt you the rest of your life, right? To pay that off. So there's a lot of reasons and a lot of benefits if doing things properly, and it doesn't cost a lot. Matter of fact, it doesn't cost anything. It makes you money. If you do it properly with the right people, setting up an LLC, should only be, $500 to less than $1,000 to get that set up, right? Even getting this trust set up, this living trust that's going to offer another level of protection if something were to happen to me. So things don't end up in probate and things don't end up, where you hear these horror stories about people like they have to sell the family farm to pay the taxes, right? All that kind of stuff can be avoided. It doesn't take what you hear about $50,000. I mean, I'm getting this trust set up for $1,400. That's going to give me complete and total protection. So there are ways to do it if you're doing it with the right people. And I'm happy to share, if anybody's interested in that or getting that, because this guy that I'm working with is working with somebody else here in Las Vegas who's wealthy, who's got probably 100 different businesses. And again, working with the right people about, and typically the way you find the right people is through somebody or some association, some referral versus, shooting blind, right? And so that's one of the other great things about networking is leveraging relationships. All the different people that we know, there's always somebody within your network, whatever it is you may be interested in or looking to get advice on or getting help with. There's somebody that we can work together and reach out to each other and get, so we don't get taken advantage of, by opportunists, right? So these types of things, but it's fascinating if you really start digging into it and the benefits, and if it's done right, it's not costing you anything. It's making you money. It's protecting your money and all your assets and your personal liability. So anybody else want to jump in or comment, or maybe they experienced something like this. Maybe they experienced not having things set up right and something happened, right? Where and they have, something hanging over their head or they got taken advantage of. Anybody else want to jump in here?
Hey, John, I'll jump in a little bit. Of course, from Canada, quite a bit different than the U.S., so you really got to be careful on some of the things that go back and forth. But I know, like you mentioned, the best thing about it is when I go have coffee with somebody, what I've always done is, okay, I met with, let's say you, John, I'm discussing the Valentis business. On the back of the receipt, I wrote down what I talked about. And we've gone through 2 audits. And what the auditor did, in Canada, you never let the auditor in your house, and you never take your books to the auditor. You take your books to the accountant's office, and the auditor has to sit in the accountant's office. And so what the auditor actually did was he looked at the receipt. The ones that were written on the back, used. The ones that had nothing written on the back, he threw out. So that kind of goes to what Kim said. You got to document everything, but make sure you write in the back of every receipt what you do. And the other thing in Canada that's incredibly important is to maintain a mileage log. Probably would be the same in the US as well. If you can document your mileage and back it up with some sort of receipt that you went there, they'll almost allow any automotive expense at all, of course, trips and so on. But yeah, that's what we found. We went through 2 audits. One was golden, the second one was average, but I mean, not much.
Yeah, no, well, I experienced that same thing because like I said, I had been audited as well, and I never met with the auditor. My accountant meets with them. And so that way, if there's any question or you don't have something, you have time to then, the accountant, let me check, let me get back to you on that. I got to find out. So so that way, if you're there, you got to answer, right? If the accountant's there, they'll be, let me find out. I got to talk to them. And so it gives you a little bit of ability to figure out what's going to be the best course of action, but definitely to your point, keeping good records. May never need them, right? You may never need them, but if you do need them, it's a whole lot better just to pull that box out of the closet or out of the attic and you have it there. And that's what I do. I don't worry about organizing it too much. I keep all the records, I keep all the receipts. And I have them in a box every year, labeled in the year. So if I get audited for, 20 or 2019, I just take that 2019 box out, and now it's all there. Now, of course, I have to go through it and make sure it's all organized and ready. But the more, and of course, I have an accountant pay all the bills, so I get a financial statement every quarter, and I do have everything really well organized. So thank you for that, Blair. Anybody else have an experience or something they want to jump in and share that they've done or they've experienced, or a warning that they experienced that they want to, help someone understand?
Hi, John. This is Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi. I just thank you for all these valuable tips as we're growing and starting a business. When I ran a business in another country, I had my we had a financial advisor. She made us a spreadsheet. So every time we got paid or did whatever, we just kind of entered everything. So by the time, it was an Excel spreadsheet. So by the time tax time came, everything was already organized. So I don't know if the lady that you were going to bring on today has stuff like that, but thank you so much for all the valuable information.
Yeah, well, she does, actually. She does. And she teaches people all the tax benefits of, what we do, the home-based business. And again, if you understand them, and that's what I was hoping for her to come on to do, if you understand them and you understand, it helps you even in the recruiting process. Forget about, just setting aside the money that you can earn from doing the business itself. It's the savings, the tax savings that you can immediately, before you even start generating revenue, the tax savings that you can realize. To the average house, it's several $1,000s a year to the average household that they can realize immediately before they earn commission one, right? Before they earn the first dollar of commissions, there's already tremendous amount of savings if set up properly, right? And again, getting the key word there is getting set up properly. And of course, understanding it. And again, the everyday, what we do in our business, we attract the everyday person. And most of these people have never done any business. They don't understand this stuff. I didn't understand it. Right. I mean, and so, luckily I was, early on in my career, I got referred to a really good accountant that I had for my entire career for the most part. And so I've been really, really fortunate. But again, I have known people, it's not just making a little money. The bigger the money, the bigger the problem. The bigger the money, the bigger the problem. And if you don't pay attention to it, it becomes an enormous problem and almost an impossible hole to crawl out of if you get in trouble tax-wise. So doing things properly is very, very important, but and making sure you take full advantage of every possible deduction, and that's part of keeping your money. Right now, once we keep it, we got to make it go work for us. We got to, invest it wisely and get that money working for us. So anyway, anybody else want to jump in? Otherwise, we're at the bottom of the hour. We'll close out for today and hope somebody got some good tips out of this. But if anybody wants to jump in and share anything before we close out, we'd love to hear from you.
John, it's Roger Cobbs.
Hey, Roger, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to come back. I know you probably talked to Wrapshell about everything, but I wanted to ask you, Can you use a LLC or a PA for multiple companies? Like I do real estate, but I'm also going to be doing Valentis and other things. So can I utilize?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have multiple businesses run through one LLC, or you can start another LLC. Matter of fact, I even in this person that I met with earlier in the week, and we talked about this, and I says, well, because he talked about how you can immediately create deductions. You create an LLC, even if you don't have a business at the time, or let's say you're getting a business started. I said, don't you have to show a profit at some point, for it to be a legitimate business? And he says, yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 years. And what he said after 4 or 5 years, if you're deducting, you're in the loss column. And yes, there's allowance there. If it's really legitimate, your economy, different things affecting that, the government is lenient on that. But he says, you go 4 or 5 years and you're not creating a profit, but you want to maintain the deductions, close the LLC, just start another one. Now you got another 4 or 5 years. I mean, guys, the people that are wealthy in this world understand the tax laws. The better you can understand tax laws and what those loopholes are designed to keep people in business, right? They're not designed to, and the better you understand it, the more money you're going to keep. Right. And again, I'm not a tax person, but I understand some of the principles and I understand some of the concepts. And if I can't get Courtney on here this fall when we resume this, I'm going to get this other guy, because I wish I would have taken better notes, because it was phenomenal information. I mean, my eyes were just like lighting up. Oh my God, everybody needs this information. Everybody needs to understand and know this stuff. I just need to get a very clear understanding for myself so I can better explain it and teach it to you guys.
Thank you, John. That was super valuable.
Okay, guys, sounds good. Well, listen, have a fantastic weekend. We are in the heart of the summer here in July, and we're around a lot of people. Don't coast. Use this opportunity to grow. Use this opportunity to that we're around a lot of people to share what we have, because what we have is very, very important and very, very valuable. And don't underestimate or forget about all of the benefits of starting a small business, starting a network marketing business and getting it set up properly. Tremendous benefits immediately. They don't have to wait till they're earning commissions. They're immediately probably saving a couple $1,000s off of what they're going to normally send to the government before they turn $1 in commissions. So think about that a little bit. Okay, guys, bye now.